Hello, hello, hello. Thank you and welcome to another edition of Salome Says, where you learn to dive deeper into knowing and understanding who you are and living life authentically. Sorry, I'm moving things around just a little bit, but anyways. So today I wanted to bring you a topic, and I mentioned it on my Facebook that I thought it was imperative to talk about this topic today because just based on my work, I have been noticing a lot of people are having a hard time differentiating their thoughts from their feelings and how to move forward, how to make those choices that will benefit them to move forward and actually help them into living the life that they say they want. Not the life that somebody else mapped out for them, but mostly the life that they have said to themselves that they want the life that that's going to be beneficial for them. All right, so I figured today that I will talk a little bit about just how those thought processes and feelings keep us stuck, especially if we're not mindful enough to take control of our lives and make decisions that actually benefit us. All right, so again, thank you again for tuning into another edition of Salome Says, where you learn to dive deeper into knowing and understanding who you are and living life authentically. And remembering that there is no one like you. You are uniquely made and authentically made, and that is your power. And the funny thing about me saying that is when I do tell people that there is no one like you and that is your power, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, Salome, really? Are you trying to say I have a power within me that no one else has? Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to get you to realize, that no one is like you, and that is your power. So you need to bask in it. You need to honor it. You need to embrace it, because that's you. That's you. That's your uniqueness. Okay. So I want more people to understand that about themselves so they can pull that greatness out of them. Are you going to need help to pull those greatness out of you? Yes. I got help to even realize that I was unique. I got help to even realize that I had the power within me to change my circumstances. Okay. But the reason I was able to move forward into making those positive decisions for my life is because I was open. I was open-minded. I wanted to learn. I was eager to grow. So guess what? I took a lot of shit from people because I knew I needed to do that in order to advance to the next level, in order to map out the life that I wanted. And I needed those resources, and those people had it. So there was no shame in my game of how I was going to go about getting those resources. All right. So when you want to do better, you will put yourself in situations and environments that allow you to do better. You will put your ego aside, because that's what's holding us back. You ain't going to tell me what to do. You're not going to make me feel this way. You know how we get our neck twisting around and shoulders rolling and all this extraness that we have sometimes when we don't want to confront the truth, when we don't want to be honest with ourselves, when we don't want to take initiative to say I want to be better, when we don't want to take accountability. So we will blame anything else. We will find fault in anything else. We will find fault in somebody trying to just help us. It might not come out the right way, but guess what? You need to position yourself in a way where you're taking the information that serves you based on what it is that you want. And I think a lot of people are struggling just by knowing what it is that they want. That's the first step. That's important. And I know that's hard to kind of figure out, but hey, that's why we have therapists for it, right? So get you a therapist that can help you figure out how you want to move in this life, how you want to design your life, how things that you really want to do. Why not do it? Again, this life has no do-overs. There is no replay. You're not going to die today or tomorrow. Come back and try to live the life that you didn't give yourself a chance to live. All right. And that's my goal in life, my goal and duty. And I find pleasure in doing these videos because I really want that message to resonate with you, that this is your life. Live it. I live my life as I choose. God's been so good to me, gracious to me. Why not live my life and be happy? So yes, I'm going to smile. I did pay for braces, so why not? I'm going to smile. I'm going to just be grateful. I'm going to just enjoy. I'm going to learn. I'm going to make mistakes, which I didn't embrace, but then I'm also going to learn from those mistakes. I'm going to apologize to the people that I've wronged and I need to apologize to. I'm going to take 100% accountability for my life, and I'm also going to move forward, because when you do acknowledge and become aware of certain things, then now you have to make better choices moving forward. Okay, so embrace obstacle. I know they can be a little challenging just to think about sometimes, but guess what? You don't grow in comfort. No one grows in comfort, so why not embrace challenges and understand that they're just that, and they're meant to help you grow and become better, right? They're not there to end your life. So I have dedicated myself to teaching people about the thought processes, right? And how those thought processes hold us back if we allow them to. But I also understand that some people have not been given a different or alternative information. So they want to do what they know. So that's completely understandable. But when you do know better, you do better, all right? So let's jump into this topic. To this topic especially. It's going to come to you by way of just people I speak to. And I told you this before, that my work is hugely centered around the fact that I am so invested in myself, in wanting to be better, do better, at least for me, better for me, not for anyone else, better for me. All right. So I talk to a lot of people. I share this information. So these videos that I bring to you usually is based on like information from other people when I talk to them, when I read, and the knowledge that I gain, and sharing those knowledge to other people and gaining knowledge as well. And I'm able to craft, get some information for you and be able to bring you this message. Okay, so today I really wanted to talk about mental health diagnosis and the effect on the mind, right? I have been getting a lot of feedback and having great conversations with people lately about how they are feeling and how those mental health diagnoses have kept them stuck, right? So I've been noticing a lot that people are taking this ownership of disorders and diagnoses that they've been diagnosed with, right? For example, so a diagnosis would be something like anxiety, right? So a disorder would be like a mental health disorder, like an emotional disorder, and diagnoses derive from those disorders usually, right? So you get diagnosed with anxiety, which is a form of a mental health disorder, right? Usually that's what it is. All right, but I am noticing that people are taking these ownership of these diagnoses, right? And they would say things like my anxiety, my depression, and I'm getting them to understand that taking ownership of something by labeling it as mine, it says this is mine, I hold it. As a result, they internalize within themselves that they have no control in changing the situation. And that's what I've been noticing, where people are literally feeling stuck. And I've heard someone say, well, I have this mental health disorder that or diagnosis that there's nothing I can do about that. And that's wrong information, That's very wrong information for a person to think that they can't manage that disorder. But I also understand why they can't manage it, or at least they think they can manage it, because it's almost like a crush at sometimes, right? Because some people really have these diagnoses that they're really struggling to make sense of, and that behaviors do mimic those different diagnoses. I get that. I'm a therapist. I understand that. All right. Some people are just having a hard time. And in order for a person to even be diagnosed with a mental health disorder of some sort, they have to show symptoms. They must have exhibited some symptoms already that made it easier for that to happen, right? So for the doctor or psychologist, whomever that's diagnosing them, to be able to do that. So I get that part. All right. But I also understand that people are feeling stuck, and they're feeling that they can't move past it. They can't move past the thoughts, those intrusive thoughts that keep them stuck. They can't move past it. That's what they're believing. And my job is to help them understand that it is a disorder you are diagnosed with. It's a difference as opposed to this is you. This is part of you. Like my hair is a part of me, right? My nose is attached to me. I own this. This is mine, right? God gave this to me. It's mine. So there's a difference. So when we put that same attachment to disorders and diagnoses, it almost makes it like it's a part of you that you can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about this hair. I can try to do it here and there and try to tweak it here and there, but it's on my head. It's stuck. This is my hair. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's important that we try to see these diagnoses and disorders outside of us. Right, you were diagnosed with it, but this is not you, all right? I don't have this disorder. I was diagnosed with this, a difference. So when you allow yourself to see a diagnosis outside of you, you're able to open your mind to process coping strategies to manage them, as opposed to thinking you can't do anything about them, all right? So it is important trying to understand that this thought process is attached to this diagnosis, but it's outside of me. This is something that I can work on. Now I can recognize these triggers attached to this diagnosis, right? I can recognize these triggers and then put some strategies in place to manage these triggers outside of me, as opposed to me having no control, at least thinking that I have no control, because it's a thought distortion. When you think you have no control, it really is. So in a way, am I asking you to dissociate? Yes. I would like you to dissociate a little bit, especially looking at those diagnoses outside of you. It's important that you do that, because by doing so, you are better able to recognize those triggers and symptoms and being able to manage them. That's important, all right? Another thing is, I've had a few people tell me actually that they were doing some things. Yeah, they had these symptoms where they were procrastinating or had thought distortion sometimes, or they didn't know what to do. These thoughts were so intrusive that they felt powerless. They felt like they had no control. But they also had aspects of their lives though that they enjoyed. They felt productive. They were actually living. They felt a part of society. They were an active participants in their lives, right? Now, according to a few people, that once they got labeled, let's put that in quotation, once they got labeled with these mental health disorders, once they got this diagnosis of depression, anxiety, they use it as a crutch sometimes. So all the strength they had before, they ignored that, and they literally succumbed to the diagnosis. That's why they're able to openly say something like mine diagnosis, mine depression, mine anxiety, which I find to be funny. But again, I also find that people don't know, and it's my job to educate people in this manner, all right? So people are literally telling me that they are literally forgotten all the things they did before, things that elevated them once they got diagnosed, and literally fell into that hole, that dark hole, right? So as the result, when they start feeling sad or lazy, not productive enough, which can be just a normal bodily function, just a normal bodily behavior, just a normal human reaction, I should say. That's what I really want to say. Just a normal human reaction. Instead of looking at their lives as just that, they tend to look at it as something is wrong with them, right? So now they find themselves falling even deeper and deeper into those symptoms of a depression, because they were diagnosed with that, right? So they would say, well, my depression kicks in, I get like this. Not even entertaining the idea that, listen, sometimes I don't want to do anything. Sometimes I want to be lazy, and that's normal. And then understanding that I have the other strength in me, or other areas of my life that are really healthy, that are very strength-based, that I can elevate, that I can improve upon, right? And then there are days where you just don't want to do anything. There are days I want to sleep all day. There are days that I don't want to work. There are days that I don't want to work. There are days I don't want to read. There are days that I don't want to do anything. But that's normal. That's normal. It can even go for a few days, maybe like a week. That's normal, right? The goal is to get up, because life presents you with challenges every day. Up and down, you keep going up and down. Things are in a way uncertain, but that's the fun of it, okay? The uncertainty, because now you get to learn more about yourself. You get to dive deeper into understanding yourself. You get to go through that obstacle, that challenge, whatever it is, and come out on top. All right. So people are finding themselves falling into this deeper hole of anxiety, depression, other mental health diagnoses, and thinking they have no option or no way out. Okay. So today's topic was especially important to me to talk about. So just bring some kind of awareness to people to consider the aspect that you do have control. Yes, you were diagnosed with this disorder. It's not a part of you. They weren't thinking about you when they made the disorder. Yes, you may have some symptoms that may make that diagnosis, whatever it is. I get that. Some people do need medication to manage different diagnoses. I get that. Some people do need medication to regulate their behavior, their moods. I get that. But at the end of the day, you still have control, okay? As long as you're willing and open and willing to give yourself a chance, you can do anything. We all have some sort of issues in areas that we're working on. I know I do. All right, I don't have it all together. I don't have it perfect, and there's no fun in being perfect and having it all together. Actually, it's fun being a little messy sometimes here and there, you know, because that's the fun of it. You have you're diverse. You have different layers of who you are. That's what you want. You don't want things to always be right, always perfect. There is no growth in comfort. Okay, so I do understand that some people do need medication to be able to move forward, to manage their illnesses. I get that. All right, but then other people are really believing that they have no control because of some diagnoses they were diagnosed with. Remember, it's a difference. All right, as opposed to this is yours. All right, so the power is within you. Okay, and strive to do so much for yourself. You've been doing great already. You have all the strength that you need is in you. You may just need somebody to help you realize that and bring that out of you so you can live your best life. You have one life to live, so why not? All right, so this is my time. This was important to bring to you today because I think it's been a hot topic for the people I work with, the people I speak with. So I wanted to bring some clarity and awareness. All right, so it's perspective perception that usually keeps people either stuck or elevating themselves. Okay, so you either remain stuck or you evolve. Those are the two options you have, and my job is to help you evolve. My job is to help you dive deeper. My job is to help you realize all the greatness and potential you have. My job is to help you see that within yourself. All right, and I've been getting a lot of great feedback that people are really just appreciating the different perspective. Okay, because I've been that girl, and I know I told you I was going to make a video about my life and how I got to be this Salome, which I think is pretty dope. I'm still working to improve myself. It will never end. It's just life. We never really get to know ourselves, but we just discover layers of ourselves that we know that makes us awesome. And that's the phase that I'm in, just rediscovering aspects of myself, discovering aspects of myself, and diving deeper and enjoying the process. That's a great process, and I'm enjoying the process along the way. So thank you again for tuning in to another edition of Salome Says. I have my Facebook and Instagram business pages, Modern Intervention Strategies on Facebook, Modern Intervention Strategies LLC on Facebook, and Modern Strategies LLC on Instagram. So you can follow me on those pages. My personal page is Southside on Facebook and African South on Instagram. All right, and then you can follow my website if you need to book a session and just dive deeper, all right, into knowing and understanding who you are and knowing that no one is you, no one is made like you, and that is your power, and that's my goal for you. Okay, so you can check out my website at www.moderninterventionstrategies.org. all right, and book a session. Send me a message and we'll go from there. All right, this is my time. Thank you, and you take care.